Hello, my ladies, welcome back to another 5 on my channel. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I was originally going to leave the intro that was originally a part. I read the Cruel Prince Trilogy, and you're about to see the footage of me reading the Cruel Prince Trilogy. I'm going to give a brief discovery, and I'm not going to tell you my scores or anything. But I do want to mention this video is quite the lengthy type of video. It's hefty in size, and so you might not want to see my whole thoughts. Like, you might not want to see my thoughts on the Cruel Prince. You should see my thoughts on the King, though, because it's just, yeah. But you might honestly want to see my whole entire thoughts on the Queen. Nothing. I get that. And, I read 3 books, okay? It's documented here, and full-length spoiler details. As soon as you see me jump into a different, person, it's me, but I think I have a beard and things by that point. Maybe my hair's longer. There's a lot of possibilities here. When you see that, that's spoiler-filled from The Cruel Prince onward. But because, it just happens, there are chapter times linked down below. So the intro, which you're watching, the Cruel Prince, and then the Wicked King, and then the Queen of Nothing all have their own separate timestamps in case you want to jump to a certain book and see me read it. And then also the outro, which is just a summarization of this. But very quickly before we jump into this, I'm just going to try to remember what the first book's about so I can tell you. The Cruel Prince by Holly Black is the first book of the, what is this called? The Folk of Air series, and it's set in a fictional world in Fairyland where Jude and her 2 sisters, Taryn and Valerie, it starts with a V. Their parents get murdered and they get stolen off into the person I can't remember the name of. She's actually a fairy person. Taken back into their world, and they're raised there. The first book deals with a lot of bullying, a lot of hardship, and things like that, and some pretty great cliffhangers. I would say this is probably a better cliffhanger, but you guys, that's spoilers. So yeah, let's just go ahead and jump into me actually reading The Cruel Prince and experiencing it again. I do want to forewarn, I don't know if I mentioned it again in this video, it could be in the intro. I had read this 2 years ago, I didn't remember a single thing about it, and so forth. Yeah, alright. Thank you for watching this video. With vlog. Because I do kind of want to document it. Today is March 4th. I'm hoping I can only read this in a week. I do have a 2.5 hour car ride. I have 5 hours in the car. I'm sure I can get a good chunk of this through. It's just my opinion. I'm sure I can read a good part of this weekend. So, that's the hope. As I'm currently doing something different, I can't do it while I read it in the car. So this is definitely a read in the car where it's not I'm bringing to work type of scenario, which would be where I get the most reading done. But I'm currently, I think, on chapter 2. Chapter 4, I lied to you. I want to mention I'm kind of skimming a big bit of this. So, they went to a ball type thing. So, if you guys don't know the story about this, this is Jude and her sister. Actually, I think it's 2 sisters or something like that. Yeah, her 2 sisters were stolen away and they get sold, basically, into fairy high kingdoms. But they're taken by people who are, super duper high up, and so they're, very protective, but no one likes them because they're human and they're not fae. And, it's I think it's a bully romance, from what I understand. I don't really know if that was the intention by Holly Black, but I think that's what it turns out to be, is a bully romance, and that's what most people take away from this book. Is the fact that romance is super steamy, and, not maybe sexually, but, just steamy overall, and, you enjoy yourself that way. I don't really remember it, but we'll have to wait and see. And, so they went to a ball, and they're human, and they can die and things, and so there's, a lot of rules. I'm okay. It's okay. I read it a few days ago, so I'll update you guys more as we go forward, basically. This is a long intro, but the clips will be shorter, since it's just going to be oh, on chapter 18, this is what happened. Things that piss me off, things that make me really happy, writing lines I think are really, really good. If I think Holly Black is a shitty writer, whatever it may be, they'll be in here, basically. And in the first book, basically. And also, I'll be critiquing Holly Black throughout all 3, as there should be an evolution, I would say. This is a pretty far in series. I do know, by the way, before anybody comments down below, it's connected to a whole world of fae that she's created before. I'm not reading those. I'm just reading these. Why? Because that's what my brain told me I should do. For some weird reason. So, yep, that's okay. I'll tell you guys when I get a little bit further. Like I said, it probably won't be until this weekend, because I'll probably read most of this in the car. So, I'll see you guys then. Alright guys, so I figured I would talk to you guys about The Good Old Cruel Prince by Holly Black. So, I'm on chapter 14, 118 pages into it, which is, I think Goodreads said 30-something%? Closer to 40, but not to 40 yet. I'm liking it so far. There's a lot more abuse than I remembered, but I think that makes a lot of sense. So currently right now, Jude accepted the spy. She's officially a spy. And she just saw Cauldron, Camden, whatever the C word is in this book. She just saw him get horribly and brutally beaten. And it's supposed to make you feel bad. Is that the relationship that everybody talks about that's really toxic? Because it is extremely toxic. But it's also not shocking for this type of romance, like this type of book. And I'm very curious to see where the characters evolve and things. And also, I'm very curious to see if she does turn into a fairy at any point, and if that is explored throughout later books or anything like that. So, yeah. This is called The Cruel Prince. And then we have The Wicked King and The Queen of Nothing. So, I don't know. I'm liking it so far. It's like a 3-star, though. Like, nothing special. I am currently listening to it as an audiobook and reading it. Like, we drove and saw my sister. So yesterday I probably listened to, like, the first, like an hour or so of the audiobook while I was at work. And then I read, like, 80 or so pages on the car ride. Or, like, 40 pages or something like that. Something along those lines. So I'll update you guys when I'm a little bit further. I think I'm not going to update you guys until we get to book 2. And then we'll see where I'm at. I don't know how much more reading I'm going to get done today, but there is some chances of audiobook listening throughout the day. So we'll have to wait and see for sure. Okay, so we have an update for The Cruel Prince. I finished it. I gave it 3.5 stars. I'm going to talk about my spoilery details now about it. Also, due to, I guess, the coronavirus and things, my work has closed, so I'm getting paid time off because I'm, like, yeah, either way. Not the important part, I have all next week off from work, and maybe more than that. It can be upwards of a month, so we'll have to wait and see. I do have The Wicked King, though, sitting right here. But I did finish Jude's first adventure, and I read most of it today, and I was supposed to update you guys when I got to book 2. And this book has a lot of wild and turns and things like that. Her relationship with, Sidron, what is his name? Like, Cauldron? Oh my god. Okay, so I figured I'd update you guys on The Wicked King, as I've now read a lot more of it, and I have a little more of an understanding what this book is about, and things like that. Some shocking moments and things. So I got to book 2, which takes up, like, the last, like, I'd say 30% of the novel, which is on chapter 22, which is page 221. Now, if you don't remember, the last time I went to you guys was chapter 4, when I didn't really know much about the story. I had just very quickly listened to it. So there was a game that came out called Animal Crossing, and I kind of fell in love with it, hardcore, and so now I'm listening to my audiobooks and playing Animal Crossing when I wake up in the morning, which is a great idea. It's such a fun little way to get some reading done before you start the day, and Animal Crossing is very, time-consuming, but it's also very tireless and things, and so it works in a lot of favors, and so it makes me very happy. Either way, with The Wicked King, there's a few moments in here that I want to highlight. Overall, I'm really, really enjoying myself. I think the book itself is really good. The first plot twist doesn't actually show up until 35% of the way through. About 10% to 15%, I was like, this is okay. The idea of her, continuing on with her being the boss and things, I thought was very interesting and very cool. The action has been really slow, but this is a second-paced book, so I'm expecting everything to pick up in the third book, even though I've been told the third book is extremely disappointing, but I'm so excited to read it, which I'll be picking up directly when I finish this. So I'm hoping to read both these this week. Either way, not the important part for you guys. But little things to mention that I thought were really, really good, that I really, really liked. One, I think the story itself is very well done. It's very well paced, and we're just now getting to problems, I'd say. I'm getting to a major, oversight issue that I think Holly Black is just trying to throw a plot in there. So the first thing that I thought was really shocking is that we find out the girl in the prison is Cardin's mom. Oh, okay, we're fine. It's Cardin's mom, which I found that to be extremely shocking, and the fact that she knew Jude's parents made me kind of seem like maybe they were related at some point, and so I did post on Instagram, please don't let them be, like, incestuous. They're not blood related, because I really do like Cardin and Jude together, even though it's a very, very bad and very, very toxic romance, and I definitely would never strive for this in real life. I think in a fairy world, it's perfectly fine. And then the next notable thing that I think I really, really enjoyed was the fact that they kiss. They kissed at the very end of the last book, and then this book, he makes her his queen, which must be what the next book's called, The Queen of Nothing. He makes her his queen, and which I thought was really, really shocking. I actually had to go back and rewind because I was so involved in the thing I was doing, and most of the book I'd say is very, very well done, but you can totally listen to it while doing other things. At least I can. And so I had to go back and I wanted to re-listen to that whole entire scene, and I did, and I thought it was really well done, and I thought it was really shocking, and I really, really liked the fact he made her his queen. I think make her an even, I think, is a really, really good way, even though queens in the world of Fae are not really, in Fairyland, are not really that even, but I thought overall I still enjoyed it, and it brought an interesting dynamic to the thing, and it also helped build the relationship a little more, which I was hoping for, since Cardin is much of an asshole, but he's not really an asshole. There's a few other plot lines, such as him getting almost getting murdered and things like that, which I find interesting, but they're not really important to, like, my overall assumption and what you guys are here to watch. And other things, when they kissed, I thought it was really interesting because they had sex for the first time in this book. It's not described in great details, but it is mentioned here and there from that point forward. I do want to mention this is getting into a little bit of a problem, which makes this book not going to be a 5 stars, just because there's a few major issues I'm going to just jump into real fast. The first one, definitely, is the fact that Holly Black repeats herself too much. Now, I'm not sure if it's because I read, I'd say, 50% of this book in one sitting. I don't know if that's it, but I'm assuming most readers read it all in one sitting. So, quoting something that happened 10 pages ago, or in my case, 10% ago, it was really annoying, and she does it a lot, and I get it, it's supposed to home in on these details and these little moments that are supposed to be very powerful, but if you keep saturating that moment, it's not powerful anymore, and it just becomes intoxicatingly annoying. And so I'm to that point where it's just really annoying to hear Jude say a line of, like, honey or something like that, or make me hate you, or there's other lines and stuff that she says that are just, I just don't find very interesting. The next thing is what we're getting into, which is the third act. I don't believe the third act was really well structured. I think the third act had a whole plan to it, but I don't think the execution here is strong. I don't understand why Jude would risk bringing back her little brother if he is the savior, or supposed to be the savior of the Fae land. You know, tell him he's not allowed to come home. And also the fact that her sister neglected to tell her girlfriend about this and then just popped it on her, and her girlfriend's just pretty chill with it. I also feel like it's very unrealistic. But I think bringing her brother home is just not a Jude thing. And I can just already tell from the certain things that have happened. I'm not officially done with the chapter yet, which is why I don't really know what happens at the end of chapter 21, but I like having an even page number and things. I like jumping ahead and putting that number on my Goodreads. Either way. With the wiki, I don't know. Basically what I'm saying, I think Jude messed up, and I think it's really uncharacteristic of her, and it actually was making me kind of mad. So I did take a little break, but I have a lot of cleaning, a lot of other things, and so I'm definitely going to be listening to more of this. Hopefully I can finish it today, and so I'll give you guys my last update then, before we jump into the Queen of Nothing. I was planning to more, really steadily read this, because I think this is a book that's very readable, and I think, I would actually probably fly through it if I actually sat down and read it. But I'm happy that I'm listening to it as an audiobook too, because it's still a very good audiobook. Alright, I'll see you guys very soon. Okay, update for The Wicked King. Still in book 2, but I now have a little more understanding of what's going on, so just figured I'd update you guys. First 2/3 of this book, very little torture, very little malice, which was a very big theme of the first book. Well, she's now down in the Sealy Queen's underwater place. Very curious to see how she gets out of this one. And she is faking being, like, she's being tortured and all this other stuff, and I'm just like, I'm a little over it. It's only just begun, but we are very close to the end, so I'm really hoping that she's not here much longer, because there's a lot of things going on up above. I was right, by the way. She was a freaking idiot for bringing her siblings and stuff. Her sister's girlfriend got turned into a cat. It was a whole thing. So, back to reading. I did get the audiobook for Queen of Nothing. I already went and did that. So, it's already downloaded on my phone. So, if I'm still working on it by the time, like, then it might be fine. Also, the corner is different because now I moved my desk over here. Because there's just something about over here that I like better. So, fun facts. I guess this is what happens when I can update you guys. The writing is just not as good. I don't know what's changing. I'm still very much intrigued in things. So she's back on land, but she's used the word diminished like 9 times now, and it's becoming a little bit annoying. And I don't know, I feel like, because I feel like this is going to be like a 4.5-star book, possibly just a 4-star book. I have to tell you some of the flaws as well, since this is like my review type thing. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go back to reading. I have like an hour left of it. While I have you guys sitting here, I figured I would go ahead and update you guys again. I'm officially in the last like 30 or so pages of The Wicked King. Very, very exciting. Carden is poisoned, and it's a whole mess. Everything's kind of coming together. I have been warned that the ending ends on a cliffhanger, so I'll let you guys know if I do move on, but as soon as I finish it, I will give you guys an update. It might be tomorrow. I'm a little tired, but I will let you guys know. Okay, so I have a lot to discuss. The last few chapters packed in a lot of different punches and things, and so I did finish The Wicked King. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. My review says it could be a 4.5. I'm not entirely sure. I really, really did enjoy it. I did have a few problems with it, but overall I thought it was an amazing book, and I'm so happy I read it. But it's probably my favorite book I've read so far this month, which is really, really exciting. Either way, the ending is interesting. So the ending, obviously spoilers, this whole vlog's been spoilers, but Carden and Jude end up getting married. She releases him from his command spell, which ends up backfiring her, and then she ends up killing his brother, and that ends up backfiring as well. They go to meet the Sealy Queen, who keeps your captor, which this whole cover is kind of based off like the second half of the book, and he ends up raising a whole island and keeping Nerissa, which is the Sealy Queen's like daughter, and like I said, he raises a whole island of Ash is what it's called, but he also bans Jude for the murder of his brother to human land unless worn by a crown or something like that, I think is what it is. And so now she's trying to figure out ways to get back into Fairyland to keep her plan on track and things like that, and Carden might be the bad guy. I'm not really sure, but I'm very, really excited. Queen of Nothing is sitting over there. I'll get it here in a little bit, and I'll update you guys when I start Queen of Nothing. So, yeah, but I'm very, very excited. I probably won't start till tomorrow when I play some Animal Crossing, but either way, I loved it. Highly, highly recommend. Okay, I will see you guys probably tomorrow with a next part of this vlog. Hi, I figured I would update you guys since I have started the final book, The Queen of Nothing. I'm very, very excited about this. Oh my gosh, you have no idea. I'm excited. I'm not this far, by the way. I'm on chapter 3, which is like probably like 20 or 30 pages into it. I'll look and I'll update it on. But currently right now, Jude, we'll get a little more into Carden's backstory, but it's practically everything we've heard before, why his mother got sent away, those type of things. And then we jump into Jude, who is doing odd jobs for people to go murder people in Fairyland or in America, or into human world, I guess, since I'm not entirely sure where this is set, if it is set in America or not. I can't really remember, to be honest with you. And so she's doing odd jobs and stuff, and she runs into somebody who's very powerful in Feyland, but is not powerful anymore due to things like dethroning. And so I do wonder how that's going to fit into the rest of the story. I'd really hate to have filler chapters in this book. It's only 300 pages long, and it's the ending of a high fantasy trilogy, you know. And the more I think about it, I'm just like, why is this a trilogy when it could be like one big book? But maybe that's how I just think about things now. Is that like, oh, you can combine these and to make it into one big book. Then I wouldn't have to hear about everything that happened in the past 2 books in this book. Don't read third books and trilogies, guys. It's just annoying for us as a reader. Not that that's your fault, but either way, that's clear nothing. I'm very excited. I'll update you guys more as we go a little bit further. I didn't play anything of Animal Crossing. I played for like 10 minutes, so I'll definitely be playing that tonight. Don't you worry. But I also have some cleaning I still have to do, and so I want to hang up some more movie tickets and things from my movie wall. And so there's things to do. So we'll get to those. We'll get some reading done today for sure. It's only 9 hours, which is like 4 hours, 4.5 hours for me. So definitely get this done. If not today, then possibly tomorrow. Very exciting. Hello, guys. Okay, so I have a thing to start out with today for you guys. I am about halfway through the book now. I read to chapter 14, I want to say it was. Let's see here. Yes, chapter 14 on page 126 this morning. And I read the bulk of it this morning. I have to say, I didn't really like the beginning of this book. I thought it was okay at best. Yeah, I just didn't really enjoy it. Like I mentioned before, it does, I talked about how she was going to go meet this person. Well, that person was a very bad person and things, and then she traded a deal that ended up working in her favor, and then we learned a little bit about her mom, a little bit more about her mom, and a little bit more about like the situation for FaZe and things like that. And then her sister shows up on her doorstep after she's like bloody and beaten and things like that, and says, "Hey, can you please go be me? I killed my husband. Hold on yards." So Jude goes in Tamarin's place to go and be her during this court trial because she can't be compelled and whole 9 yards. And then like Cardin automatically knew that she was her, but he was like totally okay with it and perfectly fine with it. But they end up getting separated because her dad ends up kidnapping her, but doesn't actually kidnap her. It's really weird. And now her dad just found out at this camp that they went to that it was actually her as she was trying to escape. And so, yeah, that's where I'm at. That's a very brief summary of everything that happened in, this little time period. I'm really happy she's back in Faeland. I really don't like American land for them, personally. I find it really boring. So we're on an upkeep, and I'll keep you guys updated. I don't know if I'll read any more of this today, though. I might finish it tomorrow. I have a few cleaning things, like my clothes are still not done, and type of things like that. Then I get done, then I could listen to an audiobook for, but I'm just not sure if I want to or not today. So I'll let you know as my day progresses a little bit on where we go. But I did play some Animal Crossing, and it really did help and things. I'm enjoying myself, at least. I'm curious to see if she does kill her dad or not, or her fake dad. I'm curious. Okay, nothing update. So I'm on chapter 15. I just started chapter 15, which is a chapter ahead of when I last updated you guys. So the girl she ended up going against at the beginning of the book actually ends up saving her, part of it. Nasa Taryn and both her sisters ended up shooting her dad as well, her dad. And so that's really interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. It was kind of a little bit more like a coinciding kind of moment, and like I don't really like convenient moments very much. I try my hardest to work around around those moments, and yeah, I don't know. I think I'd feel better if she would escape, but now he's like shot with arrows, so he's probably gonna die, which is good. It's the final book, so I expect a lot of deaths in this book, and we're about halfway through it. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm really excited for part 2. I have a feeling I'm going to really like it. So I'm going to continue listening, playing some Animal Cross tonight, and I'll see you guys soon. So I reached book 2, if you, I mentioned it so many times, which is 150 pages, which is, I think, exactly the halfway mark of the book, which is really, really cool. But, oh my god, he said he was his wife. She is officially allowed back in Fairy, I'm assuming, and yeah, he said that she is the queen of Fairyland, and I'm just freaking out about it. Oh, I'm so excited to see what comes about for the last half of this book, how crazy it's gonna get because of this big reveal and things. I'm very interested. I still have 5 hours left of the audiobook, so I'm not exactly halfway, I don't think, because of that. I'm not really sure what the halfway point is, but we gotta be getting close. So far, so good. Oh. Okay, so I am playing Animal Crossing and listening to the Queen of Nothing, but I'm on chapter 21, by the way. I have 3 hours left of the audiobook, so it should be done today for sure. Fingers crossed, at least. And they're having sex graphically. Like, I don't think it's like as bad as like Sarah J. Maas, but you definitely know they're having sex. And like in the whole world, like they talk about sex a lot. And I swore they had sex last book, and I think I'm wrong now. I think they got really close. I just don't actually think they actually did the deed because she just lost her virginity, and I read that, and like it's just a lot, you know. Good for her. Also, I keep forgetting Cardin has a tail, and like I just don't know how I feel about the stupid tail, and it pops up like every once in a while throughout the book series, and I just keep forgetting that he has one, and I'm at a loss for words because honestly, like I kind of want him, but he has a tail, so like, yeah, that's a lot. Okay, I'm gonna go back to playing Animal Crossing and listening to this very graphic sex scene because, like, that's what we do here on my channel, I guess. Update on the Queen of Nothing. So Matic just invaded, and they were in the throne room. He threw down his sword, which broke the earth and crushed the throne room practically. And then he said, "I challenge you to a duel, and for the people, whoever wants us should make us the leader, whatever." Cardin breaks the crown. There's a curse on the crown. There's a curse on Crowdon as well. He turns into a snake. Basically, turns into a snake. It was kind of creepy. And now Jude is the leader, and she's becoming more of a tyrant. She's barely a leader, but I like an hour left, so I'm sure it's going to get wrapped up real fast. I will continue to update you. I brought over you guys just so I can. I'm on chapter 23, and there's 29, I want to say. And I'm going to continue working on the thing that I'm working on. I do have an update. Here's the thing. She has partial, I don't know yet, we have yet to like really see, we're about to see. I mean, we saw once that she has somewhat magical powers. So, like, if she has magic powers, I hope they explain it better. There's only an hour and a half left of the audiobook, I lied, which means I only have 45 minutes left of the audiobook, which will be the rest of my ticket wall. Wherever that's at. That's back there. You can kind of see it. I don't know. And I'm still not very sure. I think the ending will make it clear when I'm reading it. Because, like, I'm enjoying it, but I'm also, like, thinking of it as a one book. Like, The Cruel Prince was okay. But King was, like, compared to all of his stuff, 5 stars. This is, like, a solid 4, maybe a 3.5. It's back down to, like, The Cruel Prince. I don't know why The Wicked King was just so good. I'm not entirely sure. But that's my update. Okay, so she does have magical powers. It's not going to be explained. I have a feeling I only have like 20 pages left of the book, so why would it be explained? It's a little annoying. Definitely a doc. At least start off with that. But, side note, maybe it is explained. Maybe I won't. I do really do enjoy this book, though. Cardin gets his head chopped off, and that was very satisfying, to say the least. But it was both sad, but also satisfying because like you hate him for so long, but now you love him, and so it's like it's a mixture of both emotions. So good for Holly Black for doing that. I really enjoyed most of the end of this book. We're not done yet. I'll update you guys in like 15 minutes with the actual update for the end, and then I'll tell you guys my ratings and stuff for all 3 books and end this video. First things first, I want to close out the Queen of Nothing. I did not particularly enjoy the end of this book. I gave it 3.75 stars. It was very wrapped up very quickly, and I know some of you guys are going to say, well, that's because you listened to it so fast and things. That's not the truth. The truth here is the fact that I did enjoy their relationship between Cardin and Jude. I just watched someone read it. Like, just got done watching someone read it, and they really hated that relationship, especially because it really does, I feel like, not really similar to the first 2 novels. But with The Queen of Nothing, I feel like there's progression and stuff, and there's certain things about Holly Black that I really enjoyed, and I want to know if there's any other ones set in this world, this particular world, or if there's any coming forward from, like, side characters or whatever, because I would love to continue reading in this world. I did like I don't know. I'm mixed on what she did with Matic. I think what she did was very interesting. I mean, this is what I would feel. Um, her sending him to Human Land and things like that. I don't know how much I particularly like the story ending in Human Land. I understand there's a parallel to it. It began and ended in the human world, just like they got remarried. It began and re-ended with them getting married. But I'm just, yeah, I don't know. Disappointing. 3.75. Definitely not the worst one out of the trilogy. Okay, now for anybody. Oh, actually, I'm gonna make 2 clips for this. Okay, so now for anybody who is interested in just seeing the wrap up, no spoilers or anything like that. I don't know if I did an intro. I guess I could do a much more clearer intro. No, whatever the intro is probably good. But I'm gonna tell you guys my final scores and things like that for the Cruel Prince trilogy by Holly Black, and then I'm going to rank them. I mean, you guys could probably tell by my scores, if I'm being honest. The first one got, I think, a 4, actually. What? Oh, I don't. Yeah, it totally did get a 4 because I enjoyed it so much more than I thought it was. It got a 4. I liked it. This got a 4. Oh, that's the wrong book. This got a 4.5. I mean, it's actually, I think, a lot closer to 5 stars. It's not a 5-star book, though. I want to make sure that's clear. There's a lot of things I don't really remember what they were because I read so fast. But you guys know. It's documented. There's certain things about this book I didn't enjoy that I think she actually got rid of in the 3rd book, even though I gave this a 3.75 stars, which makes me actually believe this is much more like a 3.5 and not a 4-star book, because like this was somewhat better than this. This wasn't horrible, but it's just not as good as this. Like, I think my ranking of this would go 2, 3, 1. It's like backwards. 2, 3, 1, or like it's a little. That's like my ranking for the Cruel Prince trilogy. What is your ranking? Let me know in the comments down below. Did you guys enjoy this type of video? I've done videos like this in the past, but I also do traditional review videos where I would sit down and I would review them individually, where there would be no vlog. But I know some of you guys really do enjoy this way. My first ever review / vlog came out was the Raven Boys. That was back in like September or something like that. That was like one of my first videos on my channel. On this channel. But yeah, so I read the Cruel Prince trilogy. It actually makes you want to read the whole book, so like that's nice. What are some things? That's it. If you guys enjoyed this video, please maybe a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment down below. I know it's super long. That's why there's timestamps and stuff for anybody who's queer. So yeah, there you go.